Kevin Costner. What happens when the man who spent decades playing America's protector can no longer protect the things closest to him? For years, audiences watched Kevin Costner stand tall in stories about family, loyalty, and home. He was the guy defending a ranch, saving a dream, or fighting for something bigger than himself. On screen, he always seemed unshakable, but behind the scenes, his own life told a much different story. The truth is, while millions admired the homes he built in movies, the homes he built in real life often slipped through his fingers. And that's what makes his journey so fascinating. Kevin Costner wasn't born into Hollywood glamour. He entered the world on January 18, 1955, in California, growing up in a hard-working middle-class family. His father worked long hours in utilities, while his mother dedicated herself to helping others through social services. Life wasn't unstable because of conflict. It was unstable because of movement. His father's career required frequent relocations, meaning Kevin spent much of his childhood starting over again and again. New schools, new neighborhoods, new faces. If you've ever been the new kid in town, you know that feeling. Walking into a classroom where everyone already has friends. Sitting alone at lunch, wondering where you fit in. Kevin experienced that more times than most. To cope, he turned to activities that didn't require long introductions. Sports became an escape. Baseball gave him structure. The rules never changed, even when everything else did. He also found comfort in music and church, singing in choir and learning piano. Those things gave him something reliable when the world around him kept shifting. Looking back, it's easy to see why so many of his future roles revolved around belonging, family, and home. Those weren't just movie themes. They were personal. By the time he reached college, Kevin still had no clear path toward stardom. He attended California State University, Fullerton, where he studied business and marketing. That's also where he met a young woman named Cindy Silva. At that point, neither of them knew what the future held. There were no movie premieres, no magazine covers, no Oscars. Just two young people trying to build a life together. They married in 1978, long before Hollywood came calling. Like countless aspiring actors, Kevin balanced dreams with reality. He worked regular jobs while chasing auditions, hoping someone would eventually give him a chance. Those early years weren't glamorous. There were bills to pay, rejections to endure, and long stretches of uncertainty. Then came one of his first major disappointments. Kevin landed a role in a highly anticipated film. It looked like his big break. But when the movie was released, most of his scenes had been cut. Imagine finally reaching the door you've been knocking on for years, only to discover it's still locked. That setback could have ended the dream. And instead, it strengthened his determination. A few years later, another opportunity arrived, then another. Gradually, Hollywood started noticing him. His breakthrough performances showcased something unique. He wasn't flashy. He wasn't loud. He felt real. Audiences trusted him. That trust exploded when he starred in films that connected deeply with American culture. One movie in particular changed everything. A story about baseball, fathers, regret, and second chances. People didn't just watch it. They felt it. Suddenly, Kevin Costner became more than an actor. He became a symbol. He represented values many people feared were disappearing. Loyalty, family, responsibility, hope. The irony, however, was that as his public image grew stronger, maintaining balance at home became increasingly difficult. Fame rarely arrives alone. It brings travel, pressure, endless schedules, and expectations. A successful career can open doors professionally, while quietly closing others personally. Days become weeks. Weeks become months. Family dinners become missed phone calls. Special moments happen without you. Little by little, distance begins to grow. For Kevin and Cindy, the challenges eventually became too much. After 16 years of marriage and 3 children together, their relationship came to an end in 1994. The headlines focused on money. The public focused on celebrity. But the deeper story was simpler. He had lost the person who knew him before the world did. There's something uniquely painful about that. Fame introduces you to countless people, but very few remember who you were before any of it happened. Cindy had known that version of Kevin. The struggling actor. The hopeful dreamer. The man before the legend. When that chapter ended, it marked more than the end of a marriage. It marked the end of an era. Yet life kept moving forward. As the years passed, Kevin continued building one of Hollywood's most successful careers. Then came another remarkable achievement. Dances with Wolves. This wasn't just another movie. It was a massive gamble. Kevin didn't simply star in the film. He directed it, believed in it, fought for it. Many people thought the project was too risky, too long, too slow, too unconventional. But Kevin trusted his instincts, and he was right. The film became a phenomenon, winning multiple Academy Awards and cementing his place among Hollywood's elite. For someone whose scenes had once been cut from a movie, standing on that Oscar stage felt almost unbelievable. He had proven everyone wrong. But success comes with a hidden cost. The higher you climb, the harder it becomes to protect what matters most. Over time, Kevin's personal life continued evolving. New relationships entered the picture. Family expanded. Responsibilities multiplied. Then, in 2004, he married Christine Baumgartner. For many observers, it looked like a fresh beginning. A second chance. A more mature chapter. Together they built a life and raised 3 children. From the outside, things appeared stable. But appearances can be misleading. Nearly 2 decades later, that marriage also came to an end. The separation quickly became public. Legal documents replaced private conversations. Lawyers entered the picture. Schedules were negotiated. Support agreements were calculated. What had once been a family story became a legal process. And that's one of the harshest realities of divorce. It's not always the dramatic moments that hurt most. It's the ordinary moments that disappear. The routines. The shared mornings. The assumptions that someone will always be there. Those are the things no courtroom can restore. The headlines focused on numbers. But numbers never tell the whole story. They don't explain the silence in a familiar house. They don't capture the feeling of walking into a room that suddenly feels different. And they certainly don't measure heartbreak. While navigating those personal challenges, Kevin faced another unexpected change. One that millions of fans noticed immediately. Yellowstone. When Yellowstone premiered, it felt like the perfect role for him. John Dutton wasn't just a character. He embodied everything audiences associated with Kevin Costner. Strength, leadership, resilience, a fierce commitment to family. Viewers embraced him instantly. For many fans, the show felt like a return to classic storytelling. Every week, audiences welcomed him into their living rooms. And once again, he became the face of a cultural phenomenon. But even that chapter eventually came to an end. When Kevin announced his departure from the series, fans were stunned. The reasons involved scheduling conflicts and his commitment to another project. Yet for viewers, the explanation didn't fully soften the disappointment. Because television is personal. People build routines around characters. They become part of everyday life. And when those characters disappear, it creates a sense of loss. The ranch remained. The story continued. But something felt different. The man audiences had come to associate with that world was gone. Still, Kevin wasn't leaving one dream behind without pursuing another. In fact, he was betting everything on it. Horizon. Most people slow down in their 70s. Kevin Costner did the opposite. Instead of taking the safe route, He poured enormous energy, time, and personal resources into a passion project he had dreamed about for years. Horizon wasn't just another movie. It was a vision. A massive Western epic that reflected everything he loved about storytelling. He directed it, produced it, starred in it, and reportedly invested a significant amount of his own money to bring it to life. That's a level of commitment few people are willing to make, especially at an age when most would rather avoid risk. But Kevin has never been afraid of betting on himself. Unfortunately, passion doesn't guarantee success. The project faced challenges at the box office. Audience reactions were mixed. Industry analysts questioned the strategy. Critics debated its future. Yet Kevin remained committed. Why? Because some dreams become bigger than profits. Some stories become personal missions. And Horizon represented exactly that. It wasn't simply a movie. It was proof that he was still willing to create. Still willing to believe. Still willing to fight for something he loved, even if the outcome wasn't guaranteed. Today, Kevin Costner stands as one of Hollywood's most recognizable figures. His life includes incredible highs and painful lows. Award-winning triumphs, public heartbreaks, career-defining successes, personal losses, 7 children, multiple chapters, countless memories. And through it all, one theme keeps appearing: the search for home. Maybe that's why audiences continue connecting with him after all these years. They don't just see a movie star, they see someone who understands change. Someone who knows what it's like to lose things that matter. Someone who keeps moving forward anyway. Because ultimately, home isn't just a place. It's a feeling. It's belonging. It's connection. And sometimes, it's the thing we're all searching for. Kevin Costner spent decades portraying men who protected families, communities, and dreams. But perhaps his most powerful role has been something far more human. A man trying to hold on to what matters, while life keeps changing around him. And maybe that's why his story continues to resonate. Not because it's perfect, but because it's real. If this story taught you something about resilience, family, or the true meaning of home, let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoy inspiring stories about the lives behind the legends, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next story.